Hi everyone, welcome back to Midnight Blues and Other Musings, where we chat about figure skating and anything else that comes to mind. I'm Nilla and I have a lot to talk about today. We have a very special guest with us. Hannah, how are you today? Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm mostly here to talk about junior ice dance because it's the greatest discipline that's ever existed in figure skating, and I'm doing very well. How about you, Noah?
I'm doing very well. I had a lovely weekend watching skating. Junior ice dance, as you said, it is the best discipline ever. I'm so excited for the next 2 weeks of competitions. I cannot wait. So, since you are most excited for junior ice dance, why don't we get started talking about that first? So, why don't we first start with the rhythm dance? What are your general thoughts?
I thought that this was such a good showing for so many teams who we really did not know about. I think both of the younger French ice dance teams
Mhm,
really showed like incredible skating skills and
mhm,
potential on the blues. So I was so excited to see that, and I'm really excited for the future of French junior ice dance.
mhm.
I will say if I hear sped up Bruno Mars one more time this season and it's August, I might like just die on the spot. Um, there's so many amazing songs within the general genre of blues and rhythm and R&B and hip hop that fall between 84 and 94 beats per minute. Why
Mhm,
are we sound editing songs?
yeah. I love Makita and Ganara. I think Miko and Tyler are phenomenal skaters. I really like love their skating, for the past 2 seasons, and it's awesome to see Canadian junior ice dancers competing again. They had an excellent RD rhythm dance, and I also didn't know anything about Mrazkova and Mrazik. I thought they were a lovely new team that I've never seen before. What were your thoughts on them?
I thought that they showed so much potential. They really looked so composed even through the free dance. And obviously, a lot of these teams are very young. They don't have the
Mhm.
stamina and things start falling apart at the edges after minute three. But they really like pulled it together. Obviously, a fall and a spin sucks. It's like
Mhm.
every ice dancer's least favorite element.
Mhm.
Um, but they have a lot of potential. I love the Poeta Free. I'm calling it a Wakaba tribute, even if it's not a Wakaba tribute because it is. um,
Wakaba's two week stint of having that program.
yes.
We will all mourn it. But yeah, I also really love seeing Hannah and Ye. I remember that everyone was super excited to watch them compete internationally. I think that they are just so phenomenal, and I hope that one day they make it to the Olympics. My secret hope is that they make it to the Olympics this season, but that's not happening. So, but yeah, I love their rhythm dance, but their free dance, oh my god, that it is just like the coolest thing ever.
And I think that Hannah, even from a very young age,
Mhm,
just to plug the same name tribute, because I
mhm,
think it's awesome that they're now.
mhm.
I just love that someone so good has my same name. But she has like the ability to assert herself and to be so confident on
Mhm,
the ice. Um, and I've really missed the era of campy ice dance and people
mhm,
just trying stuff, even if they aren't confident in it or if they don't know it's going to work or how the judges are going to receive it. And it
mhm.
comes off so well when you know that skaters just love their programs. And they clearly love that cat's free dance.
Yeah.
Though, yeah, it needs to bring back the fur shawl thing
Yes.
from Challenge. Where is
Yes.
it? It was amazing.
I also really miss Hannah's space buns that she did. I think a week or two ago. They were so cute. They were everything to me. And they really fit the program. I love these type of like campy sort of Y2K Euro trash programs that you kind of saw in early ice dance. But the thing is that they were kind of a little odd on like senior ice dancers. But oh my god, when junior ice dancers do things like you said that you can tell that they're having fun, can't like these campy programs just work so well.
And I think for the seniors, sometimes it comes off as like manufactured virality. Like you
Yeah,
can tell that they're not as passionate about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Whereas the juniors, there's such a more diverse pool of choreographers and coaches that they're really spending so much time working with just this one team on how to best channel all of their energy and passion into like one program versus, I mean, obviously Hananye or Akaboa, but Benjamin really seems to be like their main coach and choreographer. Whereas it's not like you have Marie France who's working with 20 gazillion different teams and trying to have each of them to have their own moment.
So onto the junior ice dance free dance. We did see Katerina and Jeffrey a few weeks ago. We also saw the Browns, and they've already competed against each other this season. And I would like to hear about your thoughts on their free dance and the possible showdown we'll have between the Browns and Chen and Wolves Kosten during Junior Grand Prix final.
Well, I think obviously that they're pretty gunning for that showdown. Just being young American ice dance team, it does give you an advantage there. I think that the problem with doing a Rain in Your Black Eyes free program is that there are so many teams who've done just like spectacularly amazing music. I mean, it's a bit like doing a To Build a Home free as a junior ice dancer. Like you're just inviting a comparison to a team that you cannot match up to. And I mean, even Papadakis and Cicerone, part of their To Build a Home free dance was Rain in Your Black Eyes. I think that they do have the advantage of being taller than the Browns, which gives them this like great illusion of like long limbs and long extended lines. I truly think that the rhythm dance has to be fixed though, because it's just so many music cuts. It's a little bit of whiplash. It's a little too Hubble Donahue 2017. Like someone got a little too happy.
For me, I think for the rhythm dance at Courchevel, I think that Makita and Ganara were definitely my standout. I love their rhythm dance. And I think that like the guide to the blues pattern that was put together, I think that doesn't just watching MG's BC summer skate rhythm dance was just like a phenomenal way of learning more about the junior pattern.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you MG have been skating together for so long that they almost have this illusion of being like a sibling team because all of their lines are so perfectly matched. And that was evident in their Tea Time Foxtrot too. I remember I was rewatching 2017 Junior Worlds to get a feel for the blues pattern. And Rachel and Michael Parsons just had, I mean, the most like uncanny sync I've ever seen in a pattern. I don't think I've ever seen two people skate closer together aside from Tessa and Scott. And they were by far the closest I've ever seen in a blues pattern. And sorry, you go on.
No. I was just kind of gonna talk about Parsons and Parsons. The way that their free legs are just kind of, they look like they're glued together because they're just so aligned.
That illusion of when the far partner like disappears behind the near one because they're just so in sync and so matching. I think that's no one does that better. And I'm really happy that Rachel's doing well. And I think Michael and Caroline are just, Caroline is such a special skater.
So good.
But I do miss Rachel, and I just hope that she's happy and doing well because her and Michael were a really special team.
Definitely. So Hannah and Ye Mrskova and Mrezek obviously did have the issues with their spin in the free dance. And Hannah and Ye kind of sort of did have a few issues in the free dance. So say that the spin, that error didn't happen, do you think Hannah and Ye probably would have come in fourth, or would these results still have held up?
Yeah, I think so, honestly. And I'm not sure I agree with that overall result, even if Katerina and Daniel were completely clean. But the combo spin base value is like 6 points. And when you fall on it, you lose essentially 7, right? With the fall for the deduction for both partners. Which they would have been incredibly close to Tyler and Miku, which I don't understand that logic. I think Skate Canada could have pushed harder for them in both programs. I think that they were the clear winner of the rhythm dance in my eyes. But Hannah and Yi, clearly the technical side needs to be improved. And the judges and technical panel told them that very clearly at this comp.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even just looking at their pattern in real time, just kind of glancing at it while doing homework, I was a little like shocked at how poor some of the key points were executed. So I'm really hoping that they can pull that together, because they are such a fun team and they clearly love what they're doing so much.
One thing I was also kind of side-eyeing a bit is the deviation in program component score, especially that big gap from Katarina and Jeffrey. And then you take a jump to Miko and Tyler and you see a 41.44, and you jump down to Hannah and Ye, who have just switched to representing Korea, and their PCS is at 40.80, while Miku and Tyler, who've been skating together for forever basically, of 41.44. So I'm also side-eyeing Skate Canada for not pushing them harder, because they are so talented. And the thing is with so many Canadian junior ice dancers, I always see this happen. They, for one season, they become a top team, either just domestically or internationally, top 5 in the world out of junior ice dancers. And then they kind of just disappear, or they kind of disappear from the ranks when they move up to seniors. And Miku and Tyler are at the age when they are going to be getting out of juniors soon. I'm guessing that this is their last season in junior ice dance, so would love to see them pushed harder, because Skate Canada has the capability and potential to do so.
Yeah, I think Miku is 18, so I think just by aging out, this is their last year. And I think what's so disappointing to me is that, I mean, they were really the unlucky losers of last junior season, where they were the only Canadian team who essentially placed 4th at every competition that they were entered in. And, a lot of those results were arguable. But when you have such a technically consistent team with honestly the best fundamentals in Canada, I don't understand the decision not to push them harder.
Yeah, totally. I'm excited. I'm also really excited for Japan and Russia to be kind of back in the junior ice dance mix. I'm super excited for the next 2 weeks of ice dance. I'm really excited for Kaganovskaya and Angelopol. How about you? Because they are competing in 2 days, and we did see their rhythm dance, which I think that there's a general consensus that we're not fans of it at all. At all, actually. I don't dislike their free dance, but I think that it is very hard to live up to their gorgeous, magical Romeo and Juliet. So Hannah, what are your thoughts?
I think the elements in the free dance are beyond stunning. Like I'm just like in love with that rotational lift. Like I could watch it all day, and I'm so glad that they're not doing combination lift this season. With the junior programs only limited to 2 short lifts, when you do a combination lift, it just makes the rest of the programs feel so empty. I actually would not be against them to doing the like traditional operatic classical Ave Maria. I get wanting to set contrast to Romeo and Juliet, because it's hard to do kind of a pale imitation of a program that you've done before. And when that program was resoundingly heralded as stunning and beautiful, and it was so good.
It was so good. So gorgeous.
The one thing I am excited for in the rhythm dance is, unfortunately, we didn't see the test skates. That curve lift that they were going to do at test skates looked really interesting. And I'm excited to see that. However, again, with like the pale imitation, doing in the end, you're not going to be as riveting as Maria and Georgie. Like you're just not. It's not going to happen. And there's such a wide range of music that you can skate to in a blues season, and it's so much wider, both in tempo and in like the scope of different genres that you can do. It's just I really wish they had gone with a more original option.
Yeah, I agree.
What about you?
I don't really love the music choice, but I think that I think that this Vasilisa and Valerie are just so far ahead in my eyes when it comes to Russian juniors in ice dance, that they could truly skate to anything, and I'd just be in awe. I think that their rhythm dance is I don't even know, the music is awful to me. Like it just doesn't make any sense. And Test Gates, they did have that scary fall right in the rhythm dance.
Yeah. Right as
Yeah,
they were entering the lift, she like almost slipped off of his skate when
yeah,
she went to step on it. It was very interesting.
yeah. I think their free dance is very beautiful. I did watch it for the first time muted, and I kind of liked it better. I don't really care about music. That sounds very mean, but Hannah's right. I think it's near impossible to kind of live up to, how magical that program is. That program is as magical to me as uh Virtue Moyer's World 2008 free dance. Obviously, it never really got the moment it deserved at like Junior Worlds or whatever for Vasilisa and Valerie, obviously with COVID. But like, I'm hoping for them to have that moment with the free dance at Junior Worlds this season.
See, this is my dream. I could almost see them bringing that back as an Olympic
Oh.
debut in seniors.
Mm-hmm.
Just it would be such a perfect full circle moment to
Oh my God.
show the difference in skating skills and
Yeah.
maturity. This is how I felt about LaJoy and Logha's
Yeah.
2019 free dance. Like that
Oh
would
yeah.
be Warsaw Concierto would be perfect for the
Yeah.
Olympics.
Yeah. I think that I wouldn't be surprised if that were to happen, or like if I think Marjorie was saying that she wanted to like skate to one of Zach's compositions, and I can totally see him composing something in a similar vein. Also, quick update. Laure, who kind of has this archive for novice and junior skaters, she did remind us all of the competition that's going to be from August 24th to the 27th. Taking place in Moscow, the Moscow Championships for juniors, I believe that's what it's called. Some standout names. We have Vasilisa and Valerie, Kagonovskaya and Angelopol, and also Abachkina and Drozd. And Aliona Kanasheva and Andrei Pilin. You all probably know Aliona. She was a lovely junior single skater. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Also, something that I found very funny is that there is a junior ice dancer named Anna Sherbakova. I think that's so funny. But yeah.
I wonder if it's short for anything. Like, what if she was like an Anastasia and then decided to change it to Anna after Sherbakova
That'd be funny.
like became big?
Yeah, especially because she was born in 2006, so she's very much a baby junior. Yeah, this is a new partnership, by the way. She's partnered with Igor Goncharov. Yeah, so exciting stuff. I'm really excited to watch Kagapol at that competition before their first Junior Grand Prix debut. So, Hannah, why don't we move into talking about ladies at Junior Grand Prix Courchevel? So, Lindsay Thorngren, the final results, she came in first. She won the gold medal. Kaya Ruder, second. Claire Seo, third. So Yenji, fourth, and Asun Yun, fifth place. Hannah, why don't we get started on talking about the short program? What are your thoughts?
Well, one, I think we saw so much amazing skating at altitude from so many skaters who are not used to it. So just kudos to them for skating at 6,000 feet when your lungs just feel like they're on fire.
Yep.
So a lot of composure. I think actually she didn't have an amazing freak program, but Noelle Struley had such a beautiful short. And I mean Claire was just phenomenal in the short. That's a rain in your black eyes program that I can get behind.
Yeah.
You can just tell that she feels everything in that step sequence and she's so connected to her music. So I think those are the two standouts for me of the short. What about you?
Claire was definitely my standout. I was super excited to see her compete internationally after watching her at Skate Milwaukee. I believe she did beat Lindsay Thorngren there, so I was kind of excited to see that showdown, especially because we did get to see Mia, Kanon, Isabeau, so many new talent, and Claire. Oh my God, I said this before, but the way she skates reminds me of someone just gliding on butter. Her skating skills are so phenomenal, and I'm just in love with the way she interprets music and how she performs and how she moves her arms. That's something that's so, oh my God, like her step sequence is gorgeous. I think that she just had such an outstanding short program, and I feel awful thinking about kind of that pressure for her going into the free skate because she was last to skate. But I will say, for skaters that for skaters that are coached in Colorado, altitude didn't really affect them in the same way that it did for other skaters. So massive props to everyone at this competition, because we did see a few skaters sobbing in the kiss and cry, and it made me feel so awful.
Yeah, I really think that in juniors, especially in singles, you see such a disparity between teams who have federations that can give them many like mock competitions and give them
Mhm.
that experience.
Mhm.
And then juniors who really only have to rely on like run throughs, and that
Mhm.
really it's not the same. It's not the same amount of adrenaline that's
Yeah.
going through your body. And I just really want to tell them that this is their first competition
Mhm.
in 18 months, and that this was no one was expecting perfection,
Mhm.
and that they all skated so well. um, I really wanted to give everyone a hug, and I
I
really felt bad
know.
that
I
some of
know.
them, there were French girls without coaches in the kiss and cry, and I'm like, where, this is a junior Grand Prix in France,
Yeah,
what is up?
I know.
um but yeah, Claire is just, you can tell that there, that can put that arms, normally that finishing is like something you work on as a senior, and
Yeah.
she already has that like raw, like that she knows what to do.
Mhm.
um and I think she has almost that, there are very few, there are skaters with like good skating skills who don't have this quality, like Scott
Yeah.
or Patrick, but there's the Kaori Kenisheva like group who has that like really insane ease of edge. And she definitely like falls into that category. I'm really excited to see her when she like hits her growth spurt and then has a bit more control, because some of it gets a little bit sloppy because she's like so passionate and she's throwing her arms everywhere and it looks amazing. But yeah, I'm just excited to see her grow up.
Yeah. Another skater that I was newly introduced to is Nargis Suleimanova.
Yes, the German.
Yeah, who had that lovely double axel entry. Oh my God.
And that's what I love about juniors is you have so many people going outside of their comfort zone and just trying new things. I think, was it Rushadza who had another really interesting entry. um this was just, it was such a good competition. I'm a little heartbroken for the Korean girls because they each had kind of a one strong program, um but they have a bright future ahead of them.
I was pretty heartbroken for Urshadze, only because I did have kind of high hopes for her and also Asun and Soyeon. I definitely had higher expectations for them. Kind of going into this competition, I was actually pretty certain that that Claire, Asun, and and Soyeon might have eked out a podium result. I actually, Skate Milwaukee was extremely rough for Lindsay. I don't know if you remember how she had skated in the free skate, but that was pretty rough for her, and she has made massive improvements. I will 100% give her that, and it's so awesome to see because so often, I'm going to give this example of Elizaveta Tuktamisheva, who, every season she's always repeating that she's going to be focusing on her PCS and working on making those improvements in non-tech areas, and that obviously never happens. It's kind of just these empty words, and it's so awesome to see Lindsay make those improvements, whether it's with her knee bend or simply just making an effort at improving her performance quality, because like she's not like a PCS skater. Like it's never exactly going to happen for her.
Exactly.
And I don't, that's not really her, and different strokes for different skaters, that's totally fine. But she did go to Benoit Richaud's summer skating camp, and she did work on that triple axel, but we didn't see it at this competition. Though I do think that she was intending to do the triple axel in the free skate, but I don't know if you noticed this, but something about her double axel looked a bit off to me, indicating that she was probably planning on doing a triple axel, but kind of like last minute decided to double axel. But yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that her triple axel bulk ended up being a double is impressive in itself, because you see a lot of these skaters who go up for it and it just looks absolutely terrifying. Wakaba, unfortunately, is one of them. Where Japanese Nats last year, she ended up with it like ended up like on her knee. It was like downgraded. It was like she went up intending to do a triple and then was like, crap, in the air, and ended up doubling. But I think that with Lindsay, one thing I really appreciate about her skating is you can tell, like you said, she's so improved and she's consciously making that decision. Like you can almost see it running through her mind on every landing, where it's like, bend the knee, extend out. And I think that you can't mention most improved without talking about Kaya. The change in ice coverage from this season to the last two that she's competed, insane. I mean, especially when you're so short. Like Satoko comes to mind. She went through a very like transitional state in her career, I think from 2014-15 to 15-16, where her skating, which was always very nice and neat and controlled, became expansive. And hopefully Kaya is undergoing that same, like, I'm small, but I can really increase my ice coverage.
Totally. Talking about Kaya, I totally agree with you. She's always been such a wonderful performer. She kind of reminds me of Alyssa in a way. She just totally looks like she's having a blast on ice. And one thing is that I did see improvements when it came to her jump, because she did kind of struggle with the leg grab and rotating her jumps, and I did kind of see that in the free skate as well. Couple of her jumps did look super, super tight, and I felt that her triple lutz, triple toe, and triple salchow and her free skate was kind of erring on the edge of being under rotated. But yeah, I mean,
it was cute.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, to see these like vast improvements in juniors makes me very happy, because like I said earlier, we hear these words all the time from senior skaters, and it's so lovely to see, Canada get a medal.
For the first time since Gabby, which is, wow, a little alarming to say about their junior development.
I know.
I think with it is so good to see juniors like delivering on those promises. It's hard because I feel like you can totally tell that there's this gap. You have those Claires who just like everything so very clearly comes natural. Like Marin just knew what to do as a junior. And I think that you have a Lindsay or a Sion who like very clearly, like they don't as naturally feel the music, but there's an attempt being made to improve. And I think that is, you can appreciate that in a different way than you can appreciate a total natural like Claire.
Totally. On, talking about Seon, oh my God, her triple toe is absolutely gorgeous. The height she gets on her triple toe is just fantastic. Like you said, feeling the music, PC program components just doesn't come natural to them. And there's something very, very lovely to see that they're consciously making an effort at improving their skating in those areas. And I am super excited to see how the Korean ladies kind of develop at their next Junior Grand Prix, especially the ones that are doing back-to-back competitions like Asun. So super, super unfortunate competition for her. She didn't have an awful free skate. It was, it wasn't terrible. Her short program was unfortunate, and she did come fifth in the free skate. And I felt that her program component score was egregiously low. But yeah, she's
totally agreed.
Yeah.
I think there's at the junior level, and especially at a Junior Grand Prix where there is no Russian or Japanese junior ladies, were, very clearly the front runners in any field. I feel like it's a mistake to put a jump like a triple lutz, where a lot of skaters have a tendency to pop. And I feel like put the combo early in the program so that there's just no doubt in your mind that you can get it done. And it's not on the jump that you have a mental block on. And I hope that that's maybe a change that they make going into the short program next week. because again, she is such a lovely skater and her lines and landing position and jumps is so gorgeous. And I would just really love to see her be set up for success.
Yeah, totally. The second half of her program is definitely a little, it's bound to be scary because she does a triple Lutz and she also has a triple flip, double toe, double loop, and her step sequence and spin, last two spins are last in the program. She's one of those skaters who is actually very similar to Claire in my eyes. When it comes to that natural ability to skate and perform. It was really unfortunate because she did also get a deduction for the time violation. So she had the -1 from the falls, and she also had the -1 from the time violation, and just like not a great competition for her. And again, like I said earlier, the deviation. I talked about this with junior ice dance, free dance. The deviation in performance program component score is egregious. Is really egregious because Lindsay had gotten a 54.59 in PCS. Kaya had gotten a 56.51, which I 100% agree with, that Kaya should be getting
Totally.
that. But then you look at Claire's, and she got a 54.35. And the thing is that she didn't have any falls in her free skate. So I struggle to see how that's a justifiable program component score, even with the under rotation she had. But yeah, good event to like kind of see new talent.
No, and this was like, I remember saying it live. I was like, Claire should be winning PCS by 3 points in the free over Kaya, over.
Oh, totally.
And then make that 5 over Lindsay, and then so on and so on.
Totally.
I wonder if this is like a psychological connection where when judges have to fill in -5, -1, -0, like all -0, ignore me. I'm an engineering major. That's a little alarming. When they fill it in for the executed elements, whether that like actually carries over to program component scores. And I wonder if that makes a case for splitting the panel. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Essence Protocol. She has a 5.75 from one judge in skating skills, and then a 7.5 from the next one over. And then there's another one who gave her a 5. Like, I'm really struggling to see.
Yeah.
This is like when you look at VM's old protocols from 2010 to 2014, you're like, guess the American judge on this panel.
Yeah, one thing that also, honestly, the placements make me less. I'd say like the scoring makes me more nervous for who's going to be at Junior Grand Prix final, because right now we're probably looking at a all Russian Junior Grand Prix final, because they're going to be taking the average of the scores, right, versus the placements to count the points, which is really, really unfortunate. You know what? I'm honestly hoping that this sort of judging translates over to the next few Junior Grand Prix competitions, because these scores make me very sad.
I totally agreed. And I think that, I mean, Junior Grand Prix even more than the seniors, because the seniors, there's more of a sense of seeding and how to distribute people. But I think Junior Grand Prix has a bit of an equity issue from that perspective, even in a non-COVID year where you have Japanese skaters who are only getting like 2 Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would consider expanding the final. Not just for this year, but in the future. I think that would be a good experience for everyone.
Yeah.
It would maybe decrease the shenanigans at some of these events if you can be top 12 overall versus top 6.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, we did kind of get a taste for what the Junior Grand Prix final is going to look like at a junior test skates.
Oh God.
You know what? I'm really, really, really. I'm gonna hold. I have hope for Veronica Zilina. I think that she's gonna become my sentimental favorite, but I'm not gonna latch onto her too hard. But I do love her skating. She's so good.
She's just such a natural jumper. I think with Sasha, you can tell that she's a natural fighter.
Yeah.
And she fights like no one else does in her programs. But Zelina just has like that natural jumping talent where she just knows where she is in the air. Her quad lutz is stunning. And it's
Gorgeous.
like, I think the only actual quadlets in ladies skating. So I really hope that we can at least see her do that internationally at some point.
Yeah, because I talked about this earlier, but I honestly was shocked to even see her at Russian Junior Test Skates because of the season that she had last season. Because with a skater like Veronica, you'd expect her to be, you'd expect her to be a top junior, but she was like almost dead last season at junior nationals, which is so unfortunate. So I hope she has the most outstanding international season. But why don't we kind of jump into junior men's? I will preface this by saying me and Hannah are not by any means deeply invested in men's skating. However, Ilya Malinin, I will say that I am kind of sort of invested in his career trajectory, especially after seeing him, I believe, at Skate Milwaukee. So why don't we start off with the junior men's short program? Hannah, what are your thoughts?
I think Ilya is so talented. I again, like, that natural jumping ability cannot be argued with. And junior men's skaters are not known for being consistent. They're known for being erratic. So seeing him put it all together in a short program was so fun. And the guitar choreo, the slide, like, you can tell he's just very into it, even if he's not a program component skater. He has that natural charisma. I was really, really happy to see Corey do well in the short relative to the free. Because he's so special.
He's so good.
Corey, if you're listening to this, I am begging you to also do ice dance, because
I think that everyone at that rink is also begging him the exact same thing, and I think he's just so insistent that that's never gonna happen, which it sucks so bad.
It makes me so mad that he's a quad, because it makes more sense for him to do men's. But Corey, you're so talented. Literally just making the Wood Kid free, the Danse Macabre Wood Kid, so good. Literally one of my favorite programs of the quad. And I do think the program component scores in the men's short were a little Corey is very clearly ahead of Ilya in my mind on that. And then overall it really didn't end up mattering. But I wish she could have come away with a bigger win on PCS there.
To see Corey's protocols and to see sixes in his program component score is absolutely egregious. I think that is a disservice to the sport of skiing. But I will say that he did have kind of a moment with the short program. That's honestly the best that he could have expected. Issues on the triple axel, but other than that, had a pretty solid program. Like Hannah said, the difference between Ilya's PCS and Corey's PCS is quite frankly wrong. And I say this as someone who really loves Ilya skating. Ilya had gotten a 35.57. Corey had gotten a 35.15. And again, like I said before, to even see sevens on that protocol makes me so mad.
Well, Corey is going to come away motivated. I actually, despite not watching the men's free skate, I did watch Corey's Prince Gala exhibition, and I am obsessed with that choreography. I mean, clearly there are parts where he's like still figuring out the new program, but it is such a good fit. I'm also obsessed with the Prince tribute costume. It's beautiful.
Corey is so good. I don't know why, but I think that to have a skater like Corey to even do like pairs, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. Sweet Han, they are so damn talented. Like, they are just so well matched, and they're so lovely skaters, even outside of their gorgeous throws and twists. That a skater like Corey in pairs, no one has ever brought it up, but I think it would be incredible because he is kind of sort of not terrible when it comes to jumps, and I think that men's is kind of a struggle for him. And I would love to see him with a talented partner.
Looking up Corey's height on ISU results right now.
He can
Yeah,
partner
I
up
think,
with Justine Brossard. I think that's how you say her last name. But I think they would make. He's the
I
one.
mean, you're the French expert, not me.
He's the one partnered with the Zach Daleman. She's the one partnered with Zach Daleman.
Yes. Zach is just like, it's so funny. He is so muscular. I don't think I've ever seen a skater as muscular as Zach. He really looks like he's like a linebacker.
Yeah,
Like, it's incredible.
shoulders are very broad, very muscular. But yeah, why don't we talk about the men's free skate, which, like always, is very much like a junior men's free skate. Ilya, so oh my god, so his layout at Skate Milwaukee, and it was supposed to be his layout here, was a quad lutz, quad toe, triple axel, quad salchow, quad toe Euler, triple salchow, triple lutz, triple loop, triple axel, triple toe. Super insane layout. And he did have a very clean free skate practice run through where he did the quad toe, quad sal, triple axel. He skipped out on jumping the quad salchow, triple axel Euler, triple salchow in combo, triple lutz, triple toe, or triple loop, triple flip, triple toe. So that was supposed to be his
And a quad flip, right?
Yeah, quad
he
flip.
did a quad flip. Yeah. Oh.
And unfortunately, he ended up popping his opening quad toe into a double toe. Lost out quite a bit there and had gotten a 0.65 quad sal. Also got an extremely low score with a negative 4.85 on GOE, and overall just had a pretty rough skate. But I will say it was equally as rough as everyone else's in true junior men's free skating fashion. Lucas Brossard also eked out second place in the free skate, which is incredible. He also, ended up getting that silver medal overall, which is awesome for Team USA. And Francois Pitot, what'd you think of him?
I did see his short, and I love the commitment. Again, it's like this junior short, and he's obviously emulating Yuzuru in a lot of places, and I just find that like so adorable, and I love it. And I think going back to Ilya's layout, when we've talked about such a weird Junior Grand Prix season layout with the Junior Grand Prix final not being decided by placement, but by essentially average score, I think it is a mistake to go for a 4 Ultra C element free skate.
Totally agree with this. And I hate to say this, but it is very true that Instagram skating is very much kind of sort of fake. Because
you mean Gracie Gold's not coming with a triple axel?
The thing is that figure skating and sport in general is such a mental game, and it's not as much physical, honestly, as it is mental when it comes to jumps. And you can say the same thing for ice dance as well, but that's kind of the issue that Ilya is running into, because he's clearly capable of doing so much. His jump tech is incredible. His technique is he takes after his mom, who was also Grand Prix final champion, which is so cool that he's coached by her and his dad. But like Hannah mentioned, he's going to run into issues when it comes to qualifying for Junior Grand Prix final, unless that his parents really work on, fixing up his issues before his next competition, because this seriously might be a massive, detriment to qualifying for Junior Grand Prix final. And I'd say it's a shame for him not to be at that final because he's so talented.
Yeah, it's almost like a Gogolev situation where he ended up being the alternate one season. Was this 2019? Well, yeah. It had to be. We've had like 2 junior seasons, this entire quad. But I do think just, it's a lack of foresight and planning for the season. When France says that they're excluding Russian skaters and the ISU talks about changing the format of qualifying, I feel like that needs to factor into your overall plan. Because as a junior men's skater, you can pretty much rely on everyone else having as crappy as a free skate as you will. But that doesn't carry over from competition to competition.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, I really hope his parents talk that over with him. And
Mhm.
there's an adjustment going into next competition. Though
Mhm.
speaking of his mom, I need her and Megan Duhamel to take a picture together because I find the resemblance like a little bit uncanny.
You're right about that. I never noticed that. Ilya Skate for Canada. Ilya Skate for Canada. The resource will not benefit from that at all. Based on Skate Canada as work as a federation, this quad. But someone who also stood out to me after you mentioned him is Makar Sunstuff, Sunsev, who represents Finland. He was definitely another standout skater to me. What did you think of him?
I just really enjoyed like how much not only was he fighting for jumps, but he was immediately getting back into the program after maybe a dodgy landing or two.
Mm-hmm.
And it is actually funny because he is Russian and representing Finland, which is I was confused. I was like, had the Russian Makar like switched at the beginning? He had not. Russian Makar doesn't make anything look easy, but
And also Russian Makar is like old, right?
yes, I think
Yes.
so. But again, I don't watch men's enough to like register these things.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I really enjoyed his short program and he was just so into it the entire time. And I think a lot of times with men's juniors, they tend not to care as much. So it was good to see him caring about his performance quality and projecting and all of that good
Yeah.
stuff.
Elizaveta Nugumanova, if you're a off chance listening to this or hear this through a grapevine, it would be lovely for you to skate for Latvia in a similar fashion to Makar Sunstuff. Might I mention Ekaterina Kurakova, who skates for Poland. Her grandfather is part of the Latvian Skating Federation, I believe. Is that correct? I hope I'm not making
Yes.
all of this up. I hope it's true. But next quad, it would be an incredible opportunity for you. But
But
yeah,
that Mercedes-Benz sponsorship money to good use skating for
dude,
Latvia.
she's a girl boss influencer. I don't know if you follow her on TikTok and Instagram, but she's the epitome of a Russian influencer. She's so pretty too, and like she already has the Mercedes-Benz sponsorship, which is insane. When you have, I'm not gonna name her name. Actually, maybe I will. Aliona Kosternai, who like has zero big name sponsors, which is super unfortunate. We all love her, but yeah, no. Elizaveta Nugumanova has the best manager in the world.
It's like just talking about a certain unnamed Russian skater with excellent skating skills who needs sponsorships.
Well, she I didn't mention this earlier, but she does now have the manager Kailina Sotnikova, who just got a music, who just signed a music deal / contract. I don't know how this stuff works. And she also represents Kamila Valieva, who did recently get a Puma Russia sponsorship. So
See, I'm actually pumped about the fact that the manager also works for Valieva because Adelina makes me nervous with some of the decisions she's made with the 50 million ruble scam.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you've seen Elena Radianova's Instagram, but she's also represented by this manager. Her Instagram is like the most beautiful thing ever. It is just like pretty influencer. Like clearly, she's always booked and busy. It's very, very cool. We're hoping that Aliona is not going to filter her photos anymore on Instagram, and she's going to get a very cool Under Armour or Reebok deal. That'd be awesome. But yeah. I think that's about it when it comes to Junior Grand Prix Courchevel, our first event. We'll also have Junior Grand Prix Courchevel #2, which is extremely odd, but it is what it is, next weekend. Who are you excited for, Hannah?
Oh crap. I need to pull up the Junior Grand Prix Courchevel starting list. I am excited. I'm really hoping that Miku and Tyler kind of show the tech panel that they are in fact amazing skaters and deserve some good scores on those blues key points. Because I was looking at that rhythm dance panel and I was going, this doesn't make any sense. So I'm hoping that happens. Obviously, they're not going to change the music in a week, but I'm hoping that that's maybe a thought process. Megan and Aaron, please, please change the music. I love September. If you're going to do oldies like September, make the first part oldies.
Yeah. We are going to be seeing Una Brown and Gage Brown and Isabella Flores and Dmitry Tsarevsky, which is awesome. I'm really excited to see them. I know Hannah loves the Browns, and Flores and
I'm obsessed with them.
I know, they're so cool. They're so awesome. I hope that they go viral again. Flores or Isabella and Dima, they're also so cool, though Isabella's falls on those off-ice throws are very funny and scary to me. So be careful, both of you. Who else am I excited for?
Oh, I finally have this list pulled up. I think the Browns, certainly. I'm going to be a little mad if they don't get the highest performance scores that a junior has ever been given on their rhythm dance, because it is just like, I truly think that they are the most musical skaters that we have seen in juniors in years. And I think that Elizaveta Kudaiberdiyeva, excuse me, definitely falls in that category. But the Browns they're so versatile and they're so good at basically everything. So excited to see them.
Yeah, I'm also really excited to see the baby French teams. I don't know anything about them. I'm not going to pretend I do, but only because the baby French teams at Junior Grand Prix Courchevel #1 did give me a lot of hope for the state of French skating. So, and they have
and it's a completely new set of junior ice dance teams. There's like no overlap, which should be interesting. I think Lori May is getting back more into choreographing. I think I saw a picture of her on Instagram with Oliver Schoenfeld. Is that how you say his name? So I'm really hoping that that's true, because she always did such innovative choreography for Delabelle and Schoenfelder, and also Peshlat and Borzat. So excited for that.
Yeah, and Miku, we're gonna see Miku and Tyler again, which is, awesome. I'm excited to see the Browns and Miku and Tyler in that podium. I'm also pretty excited for junior ladies because Isabeau Levito is going to be there. And I know that she was like a fan favorite when we were all watching Skate Milwaukee. She's excellent. And we're also going to be seeing Josephine Lee from Team USA. And yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be good. We're also going to see Soyeon Ji again, and we're also going to be seeing Sun Yeon, and we're also going to be we're also going to be seeing Chaeyeon Kim from Korea. So I think it's going to be exciting. This is going to be our last week without Russia and Japan.
I think that Japan is honestly, like, I know that the starting list for the Russian Grand Prix, that I honestly have no idea how to pronounce its name, Kraz something, that they weren't sending skaters there either, which honestly makes sense to me from a COVID safety perspective after the debacle that was domestic Russian competitions last season.
God, yeah.
But it is such a bummer, because Japanese juniors are so talented and they do deserve opportunities internationally where they actually tend to get higher scores than they do in Japanese domestic competitions.
Well, one thing is that I also do understand it, outside of the COVID, outside of from a COVID perspective, but also getting sent to an event where, Russian skaters are obviously going to be propped up to qualify for a Junior Grand Prix final. Sending them to an event there is going to be a little bit of it's kind of a lose-lose situation for them in terms of scores and COVID, which sucks so bad. Just looking at domestic Japanese competitions, seeing the scores that their senior skaters are getting. For example, Wakaba, I was shocked that she even broke 73, and that's something that should never happen when it comes to a skater as talented as Wakaba. But glad she broke 70 domestically, something that I didn't expect at all.
No, it's like it's they do not care about their women skaters, especially, and it's saddening. They have the deepest field in the world, the most talented field in the world. And to see them, the decisions that were made about Rika when she was injured, and it's like, she is your only shot at a medal, realistically. And they do not seem to care at all, and they score Corey favorably domestically, and then they totally drop the ball anytime anything international occurs. And it is so beyond frustrating because they deserve so much better.
Yeah, totally. They deserve so much better, even, as Hannah was talking about Rika when she was injured. They also deserve so much better when it comes to their training conditions. And there seems to be a lot of these like theoretical ideas when it comes to the Japanese Skating Federation, where they plan on sending a skater to XYZ location to train in a safer, more stable environment. For example, with Rika, with the Toronto Cricket Club. But that didn't happen. And I don't necessarily blame that on COVID. I blame that on not sending her to Toronto 3 years ago. I don't think that, it was too late.
No, and they spend all of their energy on this domestic internal politics fighting. When, obviously, abuse is rife within skating, but you look at these commissions that the Japanese government has done in youth sports in Japan, and the rates of abuse that they report are alarming. And to know that these skaters do not have safe environments to train in, and that even when they try, as soon as Hamada got publicly shamed by Nobudari Oda, Satoko and Rika got out of there, or tried to get out of there as soon as possible. And that says a lot about the pressure that they were internally facing to stay.
I'm kind of worried for Japanese skaters when it comes to senior and junior Grand Prix final. More so for junior Grand Prix final, only because I don't have much hope for seniors ladies skating anymore. But when it comes to junior Grand Prix, the scores average thing is a very like tricky thing, because on one hand, placements don't always reflect. Their place. Okay. With men's free skates, for example, you can have all of the men just like falling on all of their triples in the free skate, and somehow, you'll have these three skaters ending up obviously on the podium, and somehow they'll eke out a, qualification to the Junior Grand Prix final. And then you'll have another competition where it's super stacked and junior skaters are skating clean and stuff. But someone who, I guess placed fourth and maybe placed second at their next competition probably won't get a ticket to Junior Grand Prix final. But this does kind of, allow, obviously the scores are evaluated rather than the placements, but then there's an issue for non-Russian skaters. And it's just very unfortunate and unfair, because I want all junior skaters to do all Junior Grand Prix. Junior Grand Prix circuit is the best thing ever in skating, and I hate that kind of politics takes precedent when I just want to see a baby skater skate well
and be happy.
I know.
No, but I totally agree, and it is a lose-lose situation in this case, where it's like, especially when you think about how, and you look at assignments that are so weirdly distributed. Like when I think of ice dance 2018-2019 Grand Prix circuit, and you had Hawaii Baker and Zahorsky Guerrero as the top two teams at IDF because Gabby and Guy were injured. And that was just like, so obviously scoring would have been a more fair reapportionment of Grand Prix final spots. So you didn't have kind of a crazy situation happening there. But it is really, I think that the ISU needs to take a long, hard look at qualifying procedures, and then also qualifying procedures in the case of unforeseen events like an international pandemic, but also that are not unforeseen in our second season of a pandemic.
I can totally see a situation where in kind of Gogolev fashion, where Ilya kind of is the alternate to Junior Grand Prix final and then ends up just like winning the whole thing. I think that'd be hilarious. Because that honestly might happen if you
I would put money on it, honestly.
But again, like you said, junior men's skating is very much kind of a splat fest, and perhaps all of the other junior men are also going to be skating in a similar way. So we'll see. He's either going to qualify first, or he's going to be the alternate for Junior Grand Prix final.
It is funny because I think that they feed off of each other's flop energy. Like when we talk about like ice being cursed at a competition, I truly think junior men get like psyched out by their opponents falling.
That's how I feel about senior Russian nationals when it comes to men. Just like Misha, Alia. And that's how you get like Semenenko, like getting sent to world championships.
God, the Russian results of last season, like it truly feels like a fever dream in almost every single discipline. Like what happened?
Yeah, thinking about Russian Cup final. And just like half of the Russian skating field catching COVID, like a very severe case of COVID, and then struggling at Russian Cup final and not getting sent to Worlds, like Dima Aliev, Alyona Kosternaya not getting sent to Worlds. It just feels, it doesn't feel real. Like, how did this happen?
No, and Aliev, when he was so public about like how he like would struggle like getting up off of lying off the floor because COVID had debilitated his lungs at that point. It just felt like there was no point in the season where the Russian Federation reflected and said, maybe we shouldn't get our top skaters sick.
Yeah.
And especially after Shipovaya, I mean, the lung problems, the kidney failure, the fracture issues that she had in every opponent, like it's such a disservice to all of their skaters that it was such poorly managed.
Well, you did just talk about Shvilyeva. We did see a little picture of Avonlea and a certain
Grigor.
yes. Very interesting. Very interesting. We won't talk too much about that though.
Yeah. I think they're physically an interesting match. Like they're not a team that you would think would do that would fit well and complement each other.
Yeah.
But I don't think Igor has also ever excelled at pairing teams like that. So,
yeah. In any case, thank you so much, Hannah. I wish you the best of luck. Are you done with summer classes yet?
Unfortunately, no. I have a transport and fluids final tomorrow. So everyone wish me luck.
Christ,
please.
we're almost done with summer. We're almost through August. I hope you're done soon. You have your final coming up. So I wish Hannah the best of luck. Everyone listening to this, please send all your prayers and thoughts to Hannah. She's been working very, very hard this summer, not only doing school, but also making rhythm dance pattern guides, which we're all thankful for. Peace out, everyone. See you next week for our recap. Bye.
Bye.